Okay, so today we're gonna get right into it, and what I wanted to go over today was basically the conspiracy behind what really happened to Princess Diana. All right, I'm gonna read the entire article. It's pretty long. This may be a 15-minute video, but it's gonna really tell you the real truth of what happened to Princess Diana. So let's get right into it. There have always been questions whether Diana is even buried on the island. In the summer of 1998, the Star magazine in the United States quoted an unnamed senior source at Buckingham Palace saying she was secretly cremated, and according to a report in the Los Angeles Times, some people in the village of Great Brington also don't believe she is buried on the island. Okay, so one resident quoted by the LA Times said that the night her coffin was taken Althorp for burial, the village had been invaded by the army, police, and special forces units, and all the villagers hustled into their homes. They said that the crematorium at the church was working late into the night. Betty Andrews, the former cook and houseworker at Althorp, is quoted by Star magazine as saying, "There was a strange feeling amongst villagers that we may not be hearing a complete picture," which is the same thing that so many people, believe. Okay, so let me keep going. While researching this book, I was introduced to Christine Fitzgerald, a brilliant and gifted healer who was a close friend and confidant of Diana for 9 years. Because of Christine's understanding of the esoteric, Diana was able to talk to her about matters she would not dare to share with anyone else for fear of being dubbed crazy. It is clear that Diana knew about the true nature of the royal family's genetic history and the reptilian role. Her nicknames for the Windsors were the Lizards and the Reptiles, and she used to say in all seriousness, they're not human. There is a very good reason for Diana using this description of the Windsors. As her deprogramming continued, Arizona Wilder remembered clearly a ritual she attended at Clarence House, the Queen Mother's home near to Buckingham Palace, in which Diana was shown who the Windsors really are. It took place in the first 7 days of July 1981, just before Diana and Charles were married on the 29th. This period is the last 7 days of the cycle of the oak tree, according to esoteric law, and the ritual is called Awakening of the Bride. This is a ritual for all females of the 13 bloodlines who are going to be in public positions and marry reptilians to produce a new generation of rulers. Arizona says that the Queen Mother, the Queen, Prince Philip, Lady Fermoy, Diana's father Earl Spencer, Prince Charles, and Camilla Parker Boyle were all present when Diana was brought into the room. She was wearing a white gown, and a drug had been administered by Lady Fermoy. Diana was told that she should consider her union with Prince Charles as only a means to produce heirs and nothing else. Camilla Parker Boyles was his consort, not her. Arizona says that Prince Philip and the Queen Mother then shapeshifted into reptiles to show Diana who they really were. Diana was terrified, but quiet. Diana was told that if she ever revealed the truth about them, she would be killed. So think about this, everyone. You have the princess, the soon-to-be queen, knowing this information, but it's impossible for her to say anything. What I think is that a lot of really what happened is that they assumed she was going to say something, which is why she had to be outed, or should I say ousted. All right, so let me get back into it. The Queen Mother told Diana at the ritual that all ears would be listening to everything she said, and all eyes would forever be watching her. This is the classic nowhere to run bind imposed on all mind-controlled slaves. Does anyone believe, therefore, that they would allow Diana into the clutches of Muhammad El Fayed, and if he was not under their control? The ritual was involved. The ritual also involved the use of a golden penis, which was used on Diana to signify the opening of the womb. Arizona says it was a reptilian shape, size, and had a needle-like. Um, we're gonna skip over that one. Designed to superficially puncture the walls of the vagina and cause bleeding. Diana was told that after this ritual, she would never be honored again by attending their rituals, and she was not to ask questions about them. Now, do people understand why Diana suffered from bulimia and serious emotional problems from the time she married Charles? I think we're starting to figure out. So Diana told Christine Fitzgerald that the Queen Mother was the power behind Windsors, along with Prince Philip. But Philip was subordinate in the hierarchy to the Queen Mother, Diana said. The Queen Mother is connected to a long list of brotherhood groups and societies, and she is the head of the Inner Temple. The elite and the high secret society for the upper levels of the legal profession on the former Knights Templar land at Temple Bar in London. It was the Queen Mother and her close friend Diana's grandmother, Ruth Lady Fermoy, who manipulated Diana into the marriage with Prince Charles. This is why Diana was given quarters at the Queen Mother's house, Clarence House, in the weeks before the wedding, and she left there to marry Charles at St. Paul's Cathedral. Diana used to tell me that the Queen Mother was evil, Christian Charles said. She actually used that word, evil. She said that she hated the Queen Mother, and the Queen Mother hated her. Most people will be astonished to read this because the Queen Mother's propaganda turned her into the nation's favorite grandmother. Oh yes, the Queen Mum. Such a lovely, gentle, kind old lady. But this woman is not what she is claimed to be, which can't be emphasized enough. During her time at Clarence House before the wedding, Diana says that herself, she was being given drugs like the antidepressant Valium to treat her bulimia. And what else were they giving her? They drugged her, Christine said. I'm sure of it. They had her hooked from the start. Christine had many conversations with Diana, and she opened her heart about the nightmare life with the Windsors. But Christine's contacts through her work had given her access to other sources with inside knowledge of the British royal family too. This was the first time Christine Fitzgerald had talked publicly about her experiences with Diana and what she knows of the rebellion agenda. She told me, the Queen Mother, now that's a serious piece of wizardry. The Queen Mother is a lot older than people think. To be honest, the royal family hasn't died for a long time. They have just metamorphosized. It's sort of cloning, but in a different way. They take pieces of flesh and rebuild the body from one little bit. Because it's lizard, because it's cold-blooded, it's much easier for them to do Frankenstein shit than it is for us. The different bodies are just different electrical vibrations, and they have got that secret. They've got the secret of the microcurrents. It's so micro, so specific. These radio waves that actually create the bodies. These are the energies I work with when I'm healing. They know the vibration of life, and because they are cold-blooded, they are reptiles. They have no wish to make Earth the perfect harmony it could be, or to heal the Earth from the damage that's been done. The Earth's been attacked for Xeons by different extraterrestrials. It's been like a football for so long. The place was a bus stop for many different aliens. All these aliens, they could cope with everything, including the noxious gases. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over a little bit of what she's saying here, and I'm gonna get to the next part because this gets more into what's really going on. Okay, so I was astonished to hear someone else talking about these subjects, which I knew from my own research to be true. She was not aware when she told me this of my own research into reptilians. Christine Fitzgerald, thanks to her insider contacts and her knowledge of metaphysics, had been able to grasp the biggest secret. That reptiles on another dimension are controlling the world by working through physical bodies which look human. And also, the Windsors are one of those reptilian bloodlines. Christine also knew about the reptile Satanic rituals, sexual rights and the widespread sacrifice of children. She said it is the pure essence of the prepubescent the reptiles wants. Reptiles want. If you looked at where all the castles are built and where there are a lot of street children in the third world, they're galloping it at the moment. They're pulling the kids in mass now. Okay, so I'm gonna skip over a little bit. Uh, get okay. So I'm gonna read this part just so you can understand. The royal family has got has got lots of black babies all around the world. She says. The recovered mind slave Bryce Taylor tells in her book, "Thanks for the Memories," how she was forced to have sex with Philip and Charles. It is not with reason that the former British intelligence officer Peter Wright said in his controversial book Spycatcher that the palace had enjoyed several centuries of scandal bearing. And as you all know, Prince Diana's murder is just another scandal that's being hidden. So, one second, I'm going to go to one of the parts at the end. Where we oh, definitely passed. Okay. So let me start here, and this will be the end of it. Suddenly, the phone stopped ringing, and when I met her again, she was seeing as many clients in a week as she had been in a day. This is unexplainable when you consider she is one of Britain's most gifted and effective healers working in the center of London. Unexplainable, that is, unless you know the story. But she told me she is determined the truth shall be known. Whatever the authorities seek to do to her, she says, I don't want a war. I just want an end bullshit. So, look, guys, I'm going to leave a link to this article down below if you want to check it out for yourself. I just think it gives a great picture of what really happened to Diana. I mean, basically, it was just a cover up, you know? Diana things that basically people didn't trust her to know. People didn't trust her with that information. And because of that, you know, the quote unquote car crash, I believe it was staged. You know, I know a lot of other people believe it was staged. Feel free, you know, please do leave your comments down below. Tell me what you think. You know, tell me if you think that, you know, what they're saying is true, or if you think that, you know, this really is a big cover up. All right. So look, guys, I'm going to be coming with a lot of, and I say a lot, I mean a lot of different videos about different topics that I think to be discussed. So, you know, we seek truth here. So if you seek truth as well, be sure to hit the subscribe button, give this video a like, thumbs up, and be sure to check out the next video. It should be dropping in 2 days. Once again, this is We Seek Truth, and I'm out.